how we're gonna put a box even temporarily and how that's gonna work.
Sounds good.
That'd be great.
Some having some delivered to my house, so that's all right.
How many do you get on average?
Do you get a lot?
I'm thinking back when I've been doing this for like a dozen or 15 years at the post, and I'd say over a period of a year, I would get, the big black ones, I would get maybe 6 or 8 of those that I'd have to dispose of. So
6 or 8 black bags?
Yeah, the big,
That's fair enough.
the big ones.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people properly disposing of them, but it's just a matter of having a place to
Yeah,
put it.
bring them.
Mr. Crowley?
I want to say on the disabled vets, if I remember correctly, once they're approved, we go back, I think, 12 months, John, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think it's even up to 18. We got the previous full year, full calendar year.
Full year. So that may make it a little bit more confusing to figure this all out.
Right, thanks, we'll keep on it.
Would anybody else in the public wish to be heard on any issue, please raise your hand. Yes, sir.
I'm Nick Pappas. Okay. Probably half of you at least know who I am. So for the past half year or so, I have been abused and harassed by the town officials, authorities, including the police officers, the police chief, the zoning officials, I don't know why that's funny, town prosecutor. They are using their authority to injure me, and I'm really doing a good job at it. In the process, a number of federal and state laws have been broken. I've been told by many people. Some of which are illegal seizures, harassment, improper use of authority, giving out my personal information. I could go on and on and on, but I know you only want me up here for a few minutes. Given about 30 more summonses in the last few months. I've gone to Roxbury Court 3 times, each time it gets postponed. The 3rd time, I brought up that the prosecutor knows the person who's complaining. Didn't say anything for 3 court dates. Next day I get a letter, it's transferred to another town. I don't even know the exact number of summonses.
Where do you live, sir?
South Street.
Oh, you next to the bank?
Yeah. So you know that you're a party to this as well. Okay? All right. I've had intimidation by officials, zoning officers, police, parking outside my driveway, just doing nothing, just looking at me. I've been given the middle finger. I've been called an asshole by the officials again. They called me derogatory names. I've been continuously denied evidence, meaning I filled out the Freedom of Information Act here, forms. Maybe 2 things are responded to. I got a few police reports. I didn't get any video I asked for. I got applications sent back to me, an email saying, here you go, here it is, with nothing else attached but my application. Okay, I've done it the way the county prosecutor's office told me to do. The law is enforced very selectively here in Roxbury. My complaints are not taken at all. I've been told by the police and the zoning officials, we only work at 1 case at a time. Again, this is on body cam video. So, it's not coming from the sky. The chief and his #1 guy came out to my home and threatened me. Didn't want to hear any of my complaints against what his officers were doing wrong. So it tells me either he's involved or he's just a terrible manager. It's obvious he's a political appointee. He wasn't hired or interviewed. I doubt it. I hope not, for your sake. The chief.
The chief?
Yeah. You interviewed him here?
No.
Okay. He comes from an NYPD, right? Has anybody checked to see what happened over there? You'd have some stuff to really look at if he did. He doesn't know the laws. He absolutely does not know the laws. He threatened me that he was going to have you post change the street to no parking tollway zone, and he couldn't wait for that to happen. He threatened me again and towed my vehicles. You did tow some of my vehicles. Nobody can tell me where they are, where they've been towed to. Yesterday or Sunday, I was told by a police officer who came out again, because I come out every couple days or so at least, that was in CNL Towing in CNL Auto Body over here in Campbell. I went there today. Nobody knows anything about it, and they're not there. I drove through the whole yard. He's honestly as smart as a bag of rocks. This guy. He doesn't know about the people, the criminals living in town. I gotta tell him. I gotta tell him there's prostitutes that I chased out from the building next to me. They just moved to another part of town, by the way. They're not out of town, these prostitutes. Last month, you passed an ordinance, clearly against me, targeted against me. The signs are only in front of my house, you know. There's no signs in front of the bank, at the beginning of the street, nowhere else. Again, what the chief told me was going to happen, and the guy he was came out with. So he brought this up as soon as I made a complaint to the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor's office said we're sending it to Internal Affairs of Roxbury. You think I got a call or anything to see what it was about? Of course not. You're helping a sleuth and a charlatan, the person that you're helping. The day she told me this was going to happen, everything started happening the next day. Okay? And a convicted criminal that also is next door. A guy that had federal indictments, stole money from Medicare, Medicaid, has prostitutes in town, was having a legal doctor working for him, was giving out drugs like candy, prescriptions like candy. You have at least 2 people who work in the town. I'm not going to tell you who they are, because I'm not going to violate their trust. It could be someone police, it could be someone here, it could be one of you that want to complain as whistleblowers, but they're afraid of the retaliation. And they told me a lot of other stuff that's been going on in town. Corrupt stuff. And it's a good thing, you know, your code enforcement officer, it's a good thing I don't smoke, because when he came up to me, if I lit a cigarette or something, there would have been fire coming out of his mouth. He stumbled so much he couldn't even get back in his car.
Yeah, what, anything else besides making derogatory comments about the council and members of our public and
Derogatory
professional
comments?
staff? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
These are facts. Give me the damn video and prove that I'm wrong. I've been asking for it. For how long?
We passed the law, an ordinance, for no parking on that street because of multiple complaints, not a single.
Yeah, they're all coming from the same place.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. They're all originating. She
Okay,
told me it
Mr.
was going to
Pappas,
happen, and it happened.
I have my
I've been
opinion.
parking there for years,
Mr.
and
Pappas,
then all of a sudden it happens.
Mr. Pappas, I let you talk, and I left you alone, so don't cut me off.
You didn't let me finish.
I asked you.
And you said there were derogatory comments. There's nothing false about what I said. All can be proven. As the law states, turn over the
You
evidence.
told us we're all crooks, essentially.
You want me to defend myself, but you don't turn over the evidence? Really?
What evidence?
Videotape, records, police records, zoning office records. Nothing.
There's no defending here.
Body cameras.
What we did was pass a law because people cannot drive through your street.
So you're not interested
because of
in-
your.
They can drive through the street.
I got through there myself on regular occasions. I
How
have
wide is
issues.
the
I
street? Can you
complain.
measure it? How wide is the vehicle? And you couldn't get through there? Now it's a drag racing
Well,
track.
No, it's not.
No? What will you there?
1 block long.
You meet me there tomorrow, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll take out the radar and show you.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Pappas?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Thank you.
You have nothing else to say.
Nope, not this time.
So you think what you did is right?
Yes, I did.
Really? All this is right.
I didn't say. I'm not talking about your letter. I'm telling
Well,
you.
I'm coming here for all of that.
But
Aren't you running the town?
ours.
Aren't you
our
concerned
township-
a little bit that maybe one thing I said is true?
All right, Mr. Pappas, that's enough.
Why is it
Thank you.
enough? Because you don't want to hear it.
No,
Yes.
you're trying to browbeat, so just.
I'm trying to
you know,
what?
have a seat, have a seat.
I'm trying to what,
Wait,
bribe
wait.
you? What'd you say?
Mr. Pappas. Mr. Pappas, take a seat.
And you're the attorney. Don't you think this
Mr.
something
Pappas.
here should be looked into?
Mr. Pappas.
No?
We let you say
You're shaking your head, no?
I'm unaware of any variance that the municipality has taken to any laws. We adopted an ordinance.
I told you all about it.
I'm unaware of any failure to,
Well, you are now. Are you gonna look into it? No. No.
You drew the
You know what
narrative.
happens when this comes to the town? All those cases that are gonna be dismissed by the cops, all the stuff you took illegally in line, hundreds of thousands of dollars, the chief told me, it's all right, we're insured.
Mr. Pappas.
Really?
Mr. Pappas, you're done.
Yeah, you don't wanna hear it.
No.
You're just as corrupt as the rest of them. Yeah, it's funny, right?
Thank you. Anybody else in the public wish to be heard on any issue, please raise your hand.
I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting this go.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Think it's a joke? This guy, I'm gonna contact and many more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public wish to be heard on any issue, please raise your hand. Seeing none, close the public portion. Next is reports of council liaison representatives, council committees, new and old business. Prior to doing our usual routine through the council members, I do want to bring a very important issue that came up about a month ago. We had some residents in here from Ledgewood that were talking about some wells that were contaminated. That evening, we said we were going to contact DEP, which we did. DEP was contacted and to do well testing. They agreed to it with their next round of testing, which took place in October, I believe. Those tests came back and it did show those chemicals were in fact in Fenimore itself, which is not a stretch per se. But because of that testing, they've now agreed to test individual homes and pay for it. So they picked 40 homes closest to it, and they're going to start testing those homes. A letter is going to go out in the next couple days to those residences to schedule an appointment so they can get in there and test the well water itself. Once the tested well water is done, if there are any chemicals, and again, the only thing that tests positive were Fenimore wells, so nothing offsite yet. But if anything does test positive offsite or in any of these homes, the DEP will immediately provide bottled water, and we'll start installing the filter system that was mentioned before. I don't remember the correct name of it. If it becomes, it looks like it's going to become a bigger problem, they've also agreed to look at extending water lines into the area, and so. Residents brought this to us. I think we reacted quickly. DEP agreed to have a meeting with us. If you know me, you know I don't say a lot of positive things about DEP, but I will this time. They actually stepped up to the plate and agreed to everything we asked for and thought it just as important as we did, which sometimes with bureaucracy it gets lost in translation sometimes. They stepped up. They're going to do the right thing. So hopefully the residences in those areas will be receiving their letters. If they need to contact Town Hall, I'm sure they will, speak to John or staff. But more importantly, it's important that they arrange to have the wells tested. So we can find out if it in fact is a bigger problem, so we can move expeditiously to correct any further measures that need to be done. Any questions on that, or John, do you have anything you'd like to fill in about that?
Just to, again, what the residents had asked us to get tested was the PFAS material, which is a new parameter in New Jersey, and it's just recently being tested for. So I think it's going to get a lot more publicity as time goes on. But those are the actual chemicals that they're concerned about.
And they agreed to do testing on additional chemicals as well, which wasn't part of it, but VOCs and the I-4
dioxide. I think anything they think could be a problem, they want to be aware of it. I think they want to address it. I agree with the mayor. They've been very receptive and acted very fast, especially from the state standpoint.
Mr. Hall?
There has been no delays whatsoever in this process. We asked them to do the well testing, we did the well testing, we asked them for the results, they gave us the results. We then immediately brought them in for a discussion as far as next steps were concerned. That took place. I agree with the mayor, they have really stepped up to the plate. They're now gonna send out notifications, they're gonna do the testing, and then from there, once we get the results, we'll be able to take next steps. And they've actually, in that letter, they'll put in with us some of those next steps actually are. So I completely agree with the mayor on this. Let's see where this goes next.
Thank you. So now we'll move on to the rest of the bid reports, and we'll start with Mr. Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you for staying on top of that. So our boys soccer team won the state group 3 section 1 title. I talked to the mayor. We're gonna attempt to bring them in as a way of recognition on December 13th. So we'll see if we can arrange for that to happen. I noticed the streetlights are a possibility of moving forward with streetlight ceremony on the agenda today. That's very, very nice to see. Thank you, John, for addressing that. We have our annual tree lighting in Horseshoe Lake on December 4th at 5 p.m. The mayor will be there to say a few words to the public. And that will be at the tail end of the holidays, which I'm sure Mr. People will want to say a few words about tonight. There's going to be an interface Thanksgiving service, November 20th at 7 p.m. I believe this year it's up at the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Correct. Up on Mountain.
Yeah, up on top of the mountain. Field 11, Field 11 is under construction. We're hoping to get that completed before the snow flies, so hopefully that will move forward as quickly as possible. That's one of our major fields that needed to be renovated. And I guess about a week or two ago, John, we had a meeting with the residents. We had quite a few in regards to the new sidewalk program in town. So I believe you're going to arrange, John, if possible, to with the council as far as what was discussed and perhaps the next steps.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we met with the residents of Pleasant Village area, confined neighborhood. We wanted to meet with them. And my plan is at our next council meeting to spend a little more time talking about that. We're doing a little more research on it. And I think that in general, our plan, and I think the council's aware of it, we're looking at possibly removing sidewalks in lower volume neighborhood subdivisions on one side of the street, maintaining them on one side. And, council members are aware, the newer plans of subdivision that have been built in Roxbury, that's the new standard that is being used in New Jersey for these low volume roads. We're not talking about higher volume roads where there's a lot of walkers, there's schools, pedestrian areas. And that plan was received very well by the residents. I think they were glad we were addressing the problem, understand the long-term impacts of the cost of the sidewalks. And I think they're in favor of it. They were definitely in favor of the people that were there. We'll come back to council at the next meeting with some updates on that and an idea of how to move forward. So hopefully it'll be a great blueprint for moving forward in other plans. Some places it won't work because, again, we're talking high volume. We're not talking about Ema Avenue and some of those roads where there's Ryder Road, there's sidewalks on both sides where there needs to be. But some of these lower volume areas, I think it could be a win-win for the town because, again, we get the problem resolved and we reduce our exposure financially, but also for the residents, they get their sidewalks repaired and they still have a safe way around their neighborhood and have sidewalks on one side of the street. So stay tuned for the next meeting. We'll have much more information on the meeting and on some recommendations.
No deal.
Thank you. Mr. Bell?
Thank you, Mayor. We did have a lake commission meeting last night, and two, I think important things did come up. One is that Jefferson is going for a grant that they think they're gonna get for $90 million to go in and put in sewers around Jefferson, which is a great thing. The impact to us, and John, I asked you to take a look at it, is they're not sure about the capacity of the MSA.
Yeah, the mayor actually,
We have access to this, and I've actually, reached out to a couple mayors in the past, and I reached out to, and the foundation, Marty King, thank you, I don't know how I forgot his name for a second. The Marty King, because there's some emails going back and forth, and I said, they need allocation, we'd like to be part of that discussion because we have access.
yeah, and the mayor actually, it's been a few months now that he actually asked, and he was actually at a council meeting for us to get an update on that, so I have Mike Kovalars working on that, Mike will have that number for us in the near future. So we'll know what potentially we have in the way of excess, and part of that's probably just because of the Highlands, the Highlands ordinance and rules and regulations that limited development, so, we have that on the plate, Mike's gonna get that in the near future very well.
It sounds like the island is changing some of it, to allow these sewers to come in areas that normally they would block. But it'll make a huge difference to the lake, for sure. I'm just worried that I don't want us to lose all of our allocation.
No,
We're gonna make sure we hold on to it.
we paid for that, I mean, we paid a lot of money for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Infrastructure and everything else, so.
I don't wanna find out behind our back that a deal was made where we lost some of our allocation because Jefferson needed it.
There's no deal that we made without the council making it. The council has control of that, there's no one else that can stop that allocation.
Just wanna bring it up, make sure
Good point.
it's on the radar. Second one is that the commission is working, and I brought it up the last couple of years, on our ice retardant system. One of the problems in the lake is if everybody puts in these, aerators, they block the ice from around their docks. But if they don't put them in correctly, they open the lake up, and then they actually make the lake dangerous for a lot of the winter sports. And so the commission has been working very hard on trying to come up with a ordinance, which they believe they can make the same ordinance for all the towns. I brought up last night that they should get that ordinance over to us right away, so that we can review it. Because they said, I don't see how you can get one ordinance and get through 4 towns without some changes. So let's get the changes in first and then see if there's a way to make it one thing. What they wanna make the same is the ability of officials to get on, to check them. They wanna come up with a way to, essentially tell people how they get them, how to put signs up. They're gonna require them to put signs up every 25 feet saying that the water's open and things. All good ideas, but I think we have to evaluate that. It has to come to our council, of course. And as much as I know that the commission would like to see all the ordinances the same, and they want the enforcement to be the same, we have to work together to go do that. So John, we just keep a look at what's going on.
Yeah, and we did an ordinance, it was some years ago, I wasn't even here, so it's been more than 5 years, maybe not long before I started, we did an ordinance, maybe there's just a goal to make some changes to that, or make it a little more uniform.
The biggest problem really is the ability to have an official come in because it's in the back of their property to view it. And, do they collect money from it, not collect money from it? What's the application look like? And then the enforcement. So we can just keep it on the radar. With that, I think it's a meeting before Thanksgiving, so I'll say happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you. Over the past weekend, myself, a few Rotarians, and a few friends of the library put together a shed in the back to help, keep their books for the book sales. That was a lot of fun. We also have Wreaths Across America coming up on Saturday, December 17th, and that takes place at the First Presbyterian Church, the United Methodist Church, and Flanders Hillside Cemetery. So if you would like to donate some wreaths, I do have forms up here, and they're around in the front. And on Sunday, from 11 to 12, in the front of the high school, there's a pajama drive. So if anybody would like to donate pajamas, they will be going to the Jersey Women Battered. It's JWBS now, Jersey Women Battered Shelter, and to a children's hospital as well. So that's what I have. And I'm excited for tomorrow night for the gala that I know Bob will talk about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody's like, well, Bob will talk about it. Like 10 things on the list there.
Mr. DiFilippo?
I see your notes.
Thank you, Mayor. First on a serious note, I want to commend the mayor and the township manager for the meetings with the DEP, getting that really is a gala too. I mean, it's like, this is gonna be like a masquerade ball. We sold out, last week tickets, and so now people have been calling to try to get tickets, and that's a really good problem to have, you know? I just quickly wanna say that really the best part of this is the support we're getting from the business community in Roxbury. It's breathtaking. We have 3 companies in Roxbury that are giving more than $10,000 each to support Fullerton, Ground Maintenance, Kingtown Truck Stop, and Nordic Contracting. And many others giving lesser amounts, but so that we're confident we're going to achieve our fundraising goals again, which we intend to at some point be able to expand the library, which this community needs and deserves. A more modern and expanded library. So tomorrow night, looking forward to it. Hope everybody who on the council, thank you for your support. I know many of you will be there and have offered your support. And then quickly, Santaland is on. What are we doing here? Oh yeah, December 3rd. Thanks. Everybody knows this but me, right? Between 11:15 and 3 o'clock. Here's the important point. We're going to be doing photographs. Santaland, we're going to be doing photographs from 11:15 to 3 o'clock on Saturday. We did it by appointment, right? And those appointments are all been taken up, but we're welcoming walk-ins also. So we want people to know that if you just come to the library between that time, you can have your child's picture taken with Santa. Children with special needs, parents who have children with special needs, if they contact, well, let's have them contact us, right, the township. John, if you don't mind, to arrange a special seating so that we will arrange to take pictures of children with special needs. So we'll do that separately. So if we can get that out, that's I think an important point we're trying to make. So looking forward to that too. It's that time of year. And with that, Mayor, thank you very much. And Jack.
Before I turn just I'd like to point out that Mr. DiFilippo and Mr. Crowley put an immense amount of time into doing those photographs for Santa, and the Secret Santa is also married to a council person.
Kathy and Andy also.
Yes, Kathy and Andy as well.
I'm sorry. She'll hit me later. Sorry.
Yeah, I may have it in.
But they do a great amount of work, and these kids really enjoy it, and families really enjoy it, so you guys deserve all the kudos. Mr. Patillo?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Hall covered the Recreation Advisory Committee. Councilman Crowley covered the commission meeting.
You could have done Santaland.
Councilwoman Albrecht covered everything else. But you didn't mention the Interact Club. I always like to mention that Roxbury has an Interact Club that will be helping with the pajama drive on Sunday. Did you say the time, Jack?
Yes, 11 to 12 in front of the high school. One short hour.
Yes, but it's a very busy, packed hour.
Yes.
And then Councilwoman Albrecht also mentioned the shed building. Recreation has started the holiday decorating contest. You could submit your entries. You can DM the rec department on Facebook with a video or picture, and you can do that through December 16th. And voting will take place until 10 a.m. on December 20th when the winner will be announced. This Saturday I'll be attending the ceremony of honor for Tyler Benedetto and Derek Rutowski, who had come in and were recognized here in Chambers. So I'll go there and recognize them at their ceremony. And then the last thing, I just want to thank Mr. Shepard and Mr. Stern for your continued efforts with
was 20 girls. I gave them all a business card. So, of course, the next day was election day. I show up in the evening, and one of the poll workers goes, "Were you here this morning?" I said, "No. Well, they're making announcements in the school that they're right." So I guess they all went home and told their family that they know the mayor in town.
Nice.
It was kind of fun. It was fun. It was a good time. It was a good time. All right, moving on. Matters requested referred by council members, manager, attorney, and clerk, street honor blade. John?
Mayor, we had a request from Louise Nero on it, and she made a request for a street honor blade on behalf of her father, Louis Nero. He had passed away back in 1999, and he does meet the requirements. We do the research, and I want to thank Amy Reed, our clerk. She does great research. In addition to what the residents tell us, Amy tries to always confirm it as much as possible, and is able to confirm Mr. Nero meets the requirements. He's a long-time resident of Roxbury Township, has ties to Hillside Avenue, and did many things in town in addition to being a volunteer fireman for more than 50 years. So that being said, we believe it meets the requirements for the street honor blade. We recommend the installation at South Hillside Avenue and Ryder Road. And Mrs. Bonnet, she was in agreement with that, and she was planning on coming tonight. She sent me a late email. She wasn't able to make it tonight, so do apologize for that. And I'm sure she'll be excited if the council's in favor of doing the street honor blade. And I'm sure when we set up the ceremony, she'll be able to attend when we actually do the blade.
Need a formal motion, or just?
I don't think we need anything formal. I think we just need the consensus of council. I think we'll eventually put a resolution together where we'll actually have council adopt it, and then we'll talk about it. We'll certainly talk about it unveiling, and maybe we'll do that. We'll see how the weather looks. We've done more of them when the weather's at least springtime, summer, or fall, rather than the dead of winter. So we'll see how that works. But we can get that on for the next council meetings.
Any concerns with
Consideration.
Fred?
Yeah, she had called me several months ago, and I asked her up to John, beyond elated that we're bringing it this far, so I think we're doing
We'll put it off for the next meeting. Next is 2022 best practices. This is still tied to some of our state funds, correct?
It is, and we're fine. You can see
We're in
that
good shape,
We're
as we are every year.
We are. We're in good shape on best practices, and we're well in the range of getting 100% funding. State changes it up a little bit every year, but we do pretty good on our practices.
Yep. Any comments? Seeing none. Moving on, introduction of proposed ordinances, we have none. Hearing and adoption, we have none. Introduction and adoption of resolutions. Any motion, please?
And Mayor, I'll move
I'll move 2022-305, 2022-306 through 2022-315.
Thank you.
I'll second.
And second, Mr. G. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Albrecht, yes. Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman DeFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Patillo.
Yes.
Mayor Riley.
Yes. Personnel changes, there are none. Communications, any comments?
Just the toys for Todd Street, which I know we have one more meeting before this, but so people will know the Toys for Tots train will be at the mattress firm on December 3rd from 2:30 to 3:15, and then move over to Cupid Brothers Lumber at 4:15 to 6 o'clock. That's December 3rd.
Thank you, Fred.
You know, Mayor, at the next meeting, Phil and I will have, bring up some, we've been notified of all the really good-hearted people in Roxbury Township that have donated a significant amount of money. You know, a lot of our needy folks in town, Chuck, you know what I'm talking about, we heard that at the last meeting, so, we're gonna be bringing those to your attention.
Good. Anything else? Communications? Seeing none, that brings us to our next public portion. Would anybody in the public wish to be heard on any issue, please raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. Name and address for the record.
Hi, Joanne Bach, Mechanic Street. Jackie, thank you for your ordinance, your
right? It's our mistake. You hear us, we try to cover everything, but we miss something sometimes.
But it's an underrated but really important, and we all see the efforts. One other thing I'd like to mention in conjunction with that I did tell Kellyanne, zero plastic grocery bags. This is the first time we've done a cleanup that we haven't had one, and they are horrible.
It's because people are collecting them now.
Or something, whatever it is, we were glad we didn't have to clean any up. She said she got some feedback that it was a lot less. So then the question I have is for, Manager, John Shepherd. What is the status, and I'm trying to remember how it was left at the end of last winter, as we head into the next winter, the fire hydrant, like a flag, so people know where the fire, what's the policy for that right now?
The council didn't adopt it formally, but I think they were all in agreement. If anybody wants a flag, we'll put a flag on a fire hydrant in front of their house. So it's up to them to ask. Some people may not want that because they have no need for that identifier.
Okay.
They may know
Fire
where it is.
department doesn't need them because
Because
they have.
they know where they are.
Yeah.
But if someone
Right,
wants
that's what I remember.
to shovel and they don't know where it is and they want to clear it out, if someone asks us for a flag, at least on our part of the system, again, keep in mind down in Sakasana area, it's New Jersey American now. But we'll do that. It's not an issue. I don't think they have an issue doing it. My understanding is so people will just need to request it through our office.
Okay, so you have flags if somebody, you have more than enough flags if
We're
somebody.
gonna probably have to order them. We don't keep them on stock. But getting them shouldn't be an issue if someone requests one.
So
But
you have
there's
enough
been
flags.
issues with them in the past, kid bending them.
I understand, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking if we have anything like the winter we've had, it would be nice if somebody would, before, it always happens right when it's snowing, it would be nice. I guess my request, and I always try to promote the township providing communication, post that somewhere. If somebody needs a flag, they can request one. Otherwise, all I've done is bring it up into the TV.
Yeah, we can put the information on our website.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public wish to be heard?
I just had a question about
Yes.
PJs. Is it new PJs only, or is it also,
New pajamas. And women's, children, whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the public wish to be heard? Any issue? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. We do not have an executive session, correct?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Thank you.